with the love below. And as y'all know, we were just talking about memories from high school that either shaped you as a person or showed you people's true characters. And we want to thank y'all for the Ustream crowd. They're keeping us going.
Yeah, shouts out to Alex.
But definitely now, I just want to ask y'all one question. With what we talked about the memories and how they shape us. So we got a little beat going on in the back. Okay, Frank. But do you think what we learned from those memories or in the past, anything in the past, do you think it shapes you more positively or more negatively in your future?
I think it depends on the learning experience. Because, for a lot of my past experiences, they shaped me positively because every negative thing somebody said or did, it pushes me still today. Because it's like, in the end, I'm going to get the last laugh.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be successful. I'm going to do what I said I was going to do. It might not happen in the time frame in which I see happening right now, or in the time frame that, other people want it to happen, but it's going to happen. I'm never going to give up on that. And that's because, in the past, people tell you, all the time, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. Or even you have those people that, push you so hard, and they always in your corner, so you down to do whatever it takes to get where you need to be. So I definitely think it's positive. And it's a way to push you negatively is if you let it get to you.
I can't.
Look at you. So Look at you, your profoundness. Your profoundness.
She had to get a hand clap on that.
Had to get the whole applause like he was Obama or something. It was like around like.
Really? Again? Okay. Again with the applause.
I think I should go write a book.
So what do you think, Frank?
I think that the negative things that you don't use to motivate you repress, and it kind of stays with you. And so you have bad relationship problems in high school, or some of your friends turned out not to be who they were, or rumors were spread about you, you don't automatically. Some people say, I used it for my benefit, but 9 times out of 10, you're negative toward those people. I'm gonna show you. You talking about me? I got something to tell you. I got something to prove to you.
Yeah, you gonna tell them to their face? You just gonna
in a sense, most people say, my success would be my revenge. But 9 times out of 10, people hold on to that bitter stuff. It fuels them in a way. But I think that most times, the easiest answer is it depends on what Shamika said. It depends on what experiences you have, but it also depends on how you are able to cope with them. So somebody that has a resilience or a very strong rebound type of mechanism in them, they'll take a negative experience, they won't internalize it as something that's a part of them or something that happened to them, and they'll use it to motivate them to be better, that kind of thing. But those people who don't have a resilient manner, self-worth, don't know how to move on, those kind of things, which teens aren't being taught that. It's something that life has to kind of put in our doorstep, so to speak. And it's nobody above us really being able to say, hey, you're going to have to deal with some of these things. This is how you do them. This is how I did them, and maybe you can use them too. But most of the time, things we like to hear that we're good, we're awesome, we're smart, that we got it, that we hear those things, and we don't want to hear that you're not this and you're not that, you're fat, you're ugly, you're not smart, all those things. So, of course, they're going to all impact you, but it's how you internalize them and how you use them is what determines if they will be negative in the future or if they will be positive, from my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. Y'all touched on basically both sides that I was trying to get to, because I think that more than anything, a lot of times, a lot of what people go through in the past, it does shape them more positively in the future. And, that's how you have your great leaders, because the first person that comes to mind to me is Judge Joe Brown. Look at his position, and then, his little intro to the show where he talked about what all he did when he was younger. It's I feel like no matter who you are or where you are in life, there's still something that shaped you in a way to where you are now, because even the highest people up on the chain of what we would call, I guess, the top of society have gone through something that shaped them in a way to where they are now. Now, most of them is positively because they're in those positions. But then you have the downside. So there are some people who aren't somewhere in life who have great potential, but because of what they went through, it's like they can't get to that positive side. And that's where guidance comes in to me, because guidance don't just have to be when you were in high school. That's a different type of guidance. But I think later in life and the older you get, guidance becomes more of, you know, when you accept yourself for where you are in life, guidance becomes at that point, okay, so here I am. What can I do to get to where I want to be? Because you do have a lot of people that think negatively about their situations or what they've gone through, and now they have no clear or happy future because of that. And I think that guidance in those situations, you give somebody guidance now, like just because we in college don't mean we don't need to be guided. I think a lot of people walk around with this arrogant attitude as to, I know what's going on. I don't live long enough, and we all can't be old as Frank, but you know, people love to walk around and just say, you know, I'm this old, and you know, I know what I'm doing. I'm the bench with some things. Because even me, I get cocky in a sense sometimes because I have gone through a lot, and I get cocky in a sense to say, oh, well, I've been through this much stuff, so I pretty much can handle it. Even my friends have to like bring me down sometimes, like, yeah, boo, you've been through a lot, but you ain't been through a lot, like, and you know, it's still somewhere that you can go through. And I think guidance in any situation is definitely important, not just in high schools, because that's why I brought that up, because in high school, that's a different type of guidance. That's something that you, I guess I would say is needed at that time. But when you're older, guidance is something that you have to go out there and get it if you need it, because a lot of people think they can handle things by themselves, me being one. I think I can it's me, I got it, I'm Superwoman, I can get it all done. And I think a lot of people, especially when it comes to how we're in school now and classes and stuff, we try to take on so much. Because I know there were people that I went to high school with that was on every team, was the president of everything, and it's like, you know, when you're young, you can say that. But when you get to college, it's kind of like, you still see those people, and it's like, are they like, you know, they're happy at what they're doing because that's what they're used to, but sometimes they gotta learn to, like, sometimes you gotta enjoy yourself. Like, it's good to be busy and to do all these positive things, but at the same time, don't put yourself through too much, you know.
Why she preaching to me?
What I'll say, Samantha from Houston said, hate to be your motivators.
Yes.
But I would say that, yeah, I would agree to you in a certain extent about the different types of guidance that you have.
Mm-hmm.
They always, people, when I say people and they, I mean experts who look at success, who look at self-help, who look at motivation, they tend to say that you have to align yourself with the type of people that you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And high school is different in the sense that you don't quite know what you want to be or who you want to be. So you need someone like a guidance counselor, a high school counselor, or an older individual, parent, or it could be a friend that kind of gets you in that stage of development where you are taking in a lot of information and don't know what to do with it, to kind of get you started on a path to get to where you want to go. So they'll ask you things about what do you want to do in life, and what what type of person you want to be, and do you see yourself doing this type of thing, or what do you see yourself doing? And they kind of get you to thinking about life past high school. When you get to college, more or less the leaders and mentors that you align yourself with will be able to help you own your craft. So you come to school for a certain reason, and whatever that major is or whatever that career field is, they kind of give you some more tools to help you along the way, but you've already started the basis from when you were able to get, if you were, that start at an earlier age. And so they get here and they say, well, your goals seem to be still going to where you were. So they look, what did you want to do when you first got here? How are you still maintaining that? Have your goals changed and that kind of thing? And they're looking at you and they're encouraging you to continue doing, what you are doing if you are going in a manner in which they both see is beneficial to you.
So it's not more of the keeping you or acknowledging or making you aware of things that you didn't know. It's kind of refocusing your efforts and making sure that you're still focused on the things that you were focused on, and kind of making sure that you're still not taking detours on the path. So I think it's more of a maintenance issue
Definitely.
as far instead of a foundation. Like in high school, you have a foundation.
That's
When you
good.
get here, it's more of a maintenance and like, what are you doing to maintain those goals, and what are you doing to keep yourself, in good shape and good health and good things of that nature to make sure that your goals are done. So,
Great point. You need to.
got my Obama claps on. I wish y'all could really hear these applause
Yes,
and
I
sound effects.
wish.
You gotta hear them. And when they fix the sound effects, they have really messed up because I am going in.
Definitely, but I mean, y'all really touched on like a lot of it. That's true. It's more like that's the perfect way to put it. It's like maintenance because a lot of times, those are two different periods in our life. Because high school, I feel like is like you said, you don't know where you want to go, what you want to be. And colleges, you've pretty much gotten your way to it, but it might be a little cloudy, it might be a few things on the road on your way to get to where you want to be, but you pretty much know or you have an idea.
Man, I can just see it as like high school is more hands-on, where the teachers have to kind of like sculpt you in a sense and kind of get your mind prepared for the things that you may encounter when you get there. But in school, more of the professors and mentors that you have, it's not like they're hands off, but they're a little bit more. They're not. I mean, there are going to be some people that they always want to know what you're doing. They still got their hand in your pot, so to speak. But more or less, people are making sure that fire is still there. So they still make sure they put that wood under there to keep the fire going. So that hey, I said that your fire was down a little bit. What can we do to get that back up? And that kind of thing. So it's it's not hands off in the sense that you're a grown up, do what you want to do. But it's like you are an adult and you have choices, and these choices will keep your fire going. These choices won't keep your fire going. Which one are you going to choose?
And I feel like that leads into like in college versus high school. In high school, something didn't work out. You had people constantly telling you what your other options are. This is what's coming. Oh, it's cool that this didn't happen. In college, for instance, you get, let's say, junior, senior year. It ain't like in high school when you didn't, get accepted to the college you want to go to or etc. It's like, what's the next step? Like, because after this, I got to get a job. I got to move somewhere. I'm not trying to, be on mom and daddy for the rest of my life. So it's like, I feel like those decisions that you make, you feel like they have more weight. So, I mean, like, for instance, coming into senior year, when you get ready to graduate, you think about not just graduation, but them internships beyond that, them jobs beyond that. And if you don't have the applications rolling in and people saying, oh, coming for an interview, it's devastating. So, like Frank was saying, you kind of need somebody in your corner at that moment to be like, oh, don't be discouraged. I understand this didn't happen, but you got to think about the big picture of this. And I know for me right now, that's my family and my roommates.
Yeah.
Like last night, for instance, we was all cracking up. Like, I don't know, it was Thursday, it wasn't Friday, but it should have been Friday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you just have to surround yourself with people of like mind. Because we're not all going in the same direction. We don't all want to be the same thing, but we all got that same mindset. Like, this is my goal. I'm going to accomplish it. You can be here for the ride or not, but I'm hoping you choose to join me.
Definitely. Great point being made. And we want to thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to take a quick little break and we'll get back to y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Love Below on 91.9.